Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping. Look at this, John. Look at this, John. Right. Really that nigga. Truth be told, I'm a noble figure. Local niggas, they be so offended. One word, it's global business. Don't fold if you say you win it. I was molded to it, now fit it. Can't control, this the highest limit. Killing shit, but this an honest living. Gotta get it, ain't no time for wishing. The time is now, better pay attention. In my city, you can feel the tension. A terror squad, no pun intended. This ain't for you, but I recommend it. They know we coming, better clear the entrance. Shit get deep, but I keep digging. This how I look when you keep winning. Over time, I had to take the hint. Shine bright, sit behind the scenes. One-on-one, I ain't in the mix. Ain't what you thought, better get a glimpse. Came up from a pedal bike. Pressing brakes, I ain't never liked. Whole time, I was taking risks. They don't play with me because they know I'm going nice. Round form, I ain't even started. Transform, I ain't here to bargain. You all watch, better move with caution. Chains on me, I don't do this often. No error, this shit flawless. Preach for it, you become a target. It ain't worth it, better keep walking. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. I say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. It's about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. Don't wanna hear all that street shit. Me and my niggas on defense. Wonder who I was in my past life. Don't even matter, that peep this. Remember the days when I was a trooper. Stay on the path and it won't confuse you. Far as all, I'm the one to do it. I roll on eights like a flight maneuver. Try to trick me, I ain't never moving. Camouflage, I can blend into it. They better ride, I don't do the Ubers. Let them talk, I don't hear the rumors. A little suffer ain't really nothing. The way I stop it, better play the trumpet. You see me coming, better get the running. If they see me coming, better get the running. You ain't never seen it, you ain't never witnessed, you ain't never noticed, you ain't never focused. I was really waiting. I was really training, sick and tired of being patient. I ain't never doubted, this was in the making. Use what I got, not in the waste. But rapping and singing can never drink it. But I'm from the bottom, so I gotta make it. This ain't rapping, it's a damn warning. Late night to the early morning. Got a vision, I planned it out. Trying to stop me, but I kept going. I study plays, now I'm in the game, and it's all the same, but I had to change. You'll never crash if you in your lane. I can take the loss, cause it's all a game. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. This about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed. All I know is survival. All this fashion is tribal. Want the head of my rival. It's about to go viral. Say the word, then it's final. Get the moving like Pronto. I'm just living my title. Do this shit with my eyes closed.
One Westbrook.
I've been eating pot belly, greasy face, Glock heavy. She just safe talking shit, do not tell me. I don't wanna see that hate, all that shit do not help me. I'm just trying to plead my case to the most high. Pray I see the case. I was a body they can't comb, but we just got the house instead. Covered all of their payment, and now she got the bobblehead. Looking at me like dinner, she said she about to gobble lead. Point the beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow lead. Point the beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow it. Pack my bag with essentials, I can't forget the hollow tip. Niggas losing they mental, and Satan come demolish it. Niggas all on they mental, and get the whining like a bitch. Just like iron, they rust. Niggas trying, they luck. Keep it real, everybody out here lying. Save us, steady raising dead. They was out here lying, then dust. Niggas on my head, through the brotherhood is a must. Any hood, I be riding with my brothers that I trust. Know I'm good, cause they slime with their fingers on the clutch. Money piling like I'm trying to make it stack in the rush. One west to the death, and that ain't even enough, cause I'm coming back. I ain't never done with that, gonna hit and spread your lies. I'ma let you run with that, wanting me to spread the thighs. I ain't having fun with that, nigga, hell no. Then she wanna chop it up like a lumberjack. Got some exes popping up, trying to run it back. Want me come and hit the hole like a running back. If the Lord take a soul, ain't no coming back. On my soul couldn't fold like 100 racks. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga.
The full Nicky on my waistline like a big nigga. No limit, I'm a tank, close game, hit different. Refocus on who around, not concerned with who's missing. My boots nigga never been a house shoe. She don't like it, but she love me. I can tell when she want me. Tell, then I sit the body bag like a onesie. Dropping every day, let my feel clumsy. Through the pain, but we don't find shit fun. I know enough that I don't know shit. It's one thing I know this. Never bite the end that feed you. Never learn the whole shit. We don't want half of the world, man. We coming for this whole shit. In the world, I was known to pack bags like a road I'm trip. In the den with the lions. I be living this in real gain everything. But you gon' lose your soul. That's a real game. Led by a coward. I don't know what that feel like. Black on black toes to my head. I can't kill Christ.
I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, Lord nigga.
All right, Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We've been established and teaching truth since 1969. So, like Israel, one sec. Get this camera. That's up top. So, like Israel. All right, Slack. All right, so I'm teaching now at the Rock of Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. You know, we've been established and teaching truth since 1969 under Commanding General Yohan. Slack, yeah. Get some nonsense out the way. So Anyway, so like that. So today's class, we'll talk about the horrors dish is too deep. Been a few times I'm gonna talk about the deep ditch horror or horror's deep ditch. Today we're gonna be talking about the spiritual horror. Now, like the woman in the world that might fall on you, even though that is a strong demon that women has become and brothers has fallen for. But today I want to talk about more of the horror of America, the horror of the earth, and who's causing so much destruction. In our last class, I was talking about Esau and whatnot. I am going to piggyback a little bit off the last class, and I'm going to transition my way into the topics for today. All right. So, like, 1 second. So 1 second. So first, we're going to go into the book of Malachi real quick. So let me see what I want. We'll go to the book of Malachi, chapter 1. We'll start at verse 1. You can hold that right there. Malachi 1, verse 1. Malachi 1, verse 1. We pull it up on the King James Bible. Bear with me 1 second. So we're gonna start off with the book of Malachi. Let me share my screen. Salaki. This one I want. This one. No. Share this instead. Hey. No. Let's try this one. All right, there we go. Salaki. So this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord is to Israel. And so we're talking about it's to Israel, not to planet Earth, not to Amalek, not to the Chinese, not to the Hamites, not to the North Koreans, not to the British or the Spaniards or the French, the Dutch, the Americans, as in quote unquote Caucasian Americans, of course, or the Irish. It says the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel. So this the words are going to Israel. Verse 2, it says, I have loved you, said the Lord, yea, say, wherein hast thou, Salaki, hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? That's the question he's posing. So Lord said, he said, I have loved you, yet ye say, what hast thou hast loved us? It says, said the Lord, yet I love Jacob. He's letting you know that, like, listen, Esau is Jacob's brother. And yet and still I choose Jacob. So that's right there is showing you that the Lord has a preference. So anytime you got people out there talking about, well, the Lord don't pick and choose, he don't hate. No, the Lord has something he loves, and he also has something that he hates. And that's the part people got to understand. Like, I have loved you, said the Lord. That's something that he hates. All right. I'm going to the next verse. See what's what I want. Come. Let me zoom in just a taste. Let me check the yard. All right, that looks good. All right, Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. And I hated Esau. Now, dealing with people who is for everyone, who don't tend to stick to a particular race that they're born into, they're going to try to disprove this and say that, well, that's the Old Testament. We ain't under the Old Testament, we're under the New Testament. So what you would do is, as always, Romans 9 and 13, of course, that's the precept. But what you would do is to let them know that when Christ was teaching, when Paul was teaching, when all the disciples was teaching, Daniel, Luke, and Matthew, there was no New Testament. There was no book of Matthew when Matthew was teaching. There was no Romans. There was no Acts. There was no Corinthians. There was none of those. They was teaching out of the Old Testament. Paul was not teaching out of the book of Romans. He was not doing that. You understand, Paul? They weren't teaching out of the book of Revelations. You understand? They weren't teaching out of those. They was teaching from the Old Testament. So the Old Testament still is valid. Because what was written before our hand was written for our learning. You understand? So he said, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. You know, so we all know that the Caucasian race, as I brought up, I think last week or a week ago, the last time I taught class, we brought about like the Caucasian meaning, like how it means about to be like in the mountains or cleft dweller. You understand? Like cavemen. All right. But this is, like we said, the burden of the word of the Lord given to Malachi. He said, the word of the Lord says that he hates Esau. Esau is the progenitor of the Caucasian race known as Edom, Edomites, and their progenitor of the white race, whether you say Ashkenazi, whether you would say the British, whether you would say of course, Americans, of course, the Greeks, the Romans, etc. So like my leg was itching. All right. So I'm going to read verse 4. Let me double check, make sure it's zoomed in pretty good. All right. So lock it 1 second. Verse 4, it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, and I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Not for a short period of time. He says forever. A long time. Forever. Like the Lord does not care for, if you think that God loves everybody, right? And you think that, or you don't know who Edom is, at least for Christians should acknowledge and say, we have read Old and New Testament that God does hate a particular person. He never mentioned the sin. He never mentioned hate the sin, not the sinner. Even though that nonsense comes from Gandhi. He says that he loves Jacob and he hates Esau. So the onus would be is who are Esau and who is Jacob? Let's find their children and find out who the Lord loves and who the Lord hates. So that's important to do. It says, we are impoverished, but we will return and build up the desolate place. Thus said the Lord of hosts. They shall build and I will throw down. He don't care how much Esau builds up his cities. He don't care how much for what he's done, how he tried to thrive and try to, flourish and get blessings. Because Esau gave up his blessings. You understand? He gave up that birthright for a morsel of meat. And I'll probably pull it up in a second. But this is Esau versus Jacob. This is what the Lord chose. And he's saying to the people, he says, in the border of wickedness, he says, I'm gonna start off in the middle. I'm start off from the top. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Now, Edom has the audacity to tell the Lord, like, yeah, this guy destroyed, but we're going to build it back, as if he can't destroy it again. Then it says, thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Yeah, okay, build it up and watch what I do. It's going to get demolished. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation for. Salakia. Verse 5, it says, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. That's what's all about. It's about Israel, nobody, no one else. Israel only. You understand? It's all about Israel. Nobody, no one else. Okay, that's it on that. It's like I'm gonna jump real quick to Job. Job 9 and 24. I can't even hit that one. let me tell y'all something. And this is a bedrock because I'm not sure if y'all been keeping up. It's a lot of pages to read, but with the Epstein files, I got it's gonna take a while. I'd rather someone just make like a video, like the page is flickering and they read it out to you. But the bits and pieces that I've heard and read, it takes a lot to stomach. It takes a lot to stomach how wicked this beast is. It takes a lot to stomach because if you, it's like something out of a horror film, like, but it's deviancy. You understand? Like we all know how horrible our oppressor has been, especially during the sub-Saharan slave trade and the transatlantic slave trade and things that they tried to cover up, like taking our teeth or doing stuff to our Hispanics brothers and sisters, you know, because we are the same tribe, Hispanics and Latinos. What they did to us, they did to them. What they did to them, they did to us. But you hear stories about gator bait, or they'll have a woman be pregnant and they'll cut up the bottom of her belly to take the baby out. You understand? Like their version of a C-section, you know, at 7 months and she's not having any complications. They'll do it just because. So, like, if you could read and see these things, that's what it will show. Um, but this has always been this oppressor been so wicked. You understand? And them Epstein files, like they got the names redacted. Like they won't even tell you who these monsters are. These are monsters, and they won't allow us to know who these monsters are. When it comes to the Diddy case, oh, they let you know who's who. They're interviewing all the individuals. They got their names, they got their faces, they got videos and interviews. When it comes to the Diddy cases and all that sexual deviancy, they had no problem exposing those people or individuals rather. And now everyone else is trying to come out with their own interview on different podcasts and platforms to share their story. No sweat, share your story. But it's definitely a white and black thing. Like America don't have enough decency to make this about monsters. She don't have enough decency to say we're going to expose all monsters. They got these names. I can only imagine how many of them are billionaires and politicians, commander in chiefs and attorney generals, pastors. You understand? And like and them in their code words. Like we're dealing with a diabolical beast of the earth. He's very diabolical, and there is no saving him. There is no coming back together. There is no trying to vote our way out of oppression. There is no way. There is no we can change things. We can convince them. I'm not trying to convince a monster not to see me as prey. I would just say that we're gonna have to convince the Most High to save us, to redeem us from this monster. Because if you can stomach it, there's a lot of stuff in those Epstein files. It is a boatload of stuff, and it can be very extremely difficult to stomach. I just want to make sure I keep reiterating that because we're dealing with something that is a a a bona fide beast that has already been in the making. Has been on here since he's been in existence. You understand? All right, so we're going to read Job chapter 9, verse 24. And this is most important because this is who is running the earth. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You understand? And how? When was he given? When was the earth given to the hand of the wicked? Do anybody know? If not, I will gladly tell you. When he got his power in true power and start to reign over the earth, it was called the Renaissance era. You know, after the whole Dark Ages and all stuff like that, they made it seem like life was so hell back then when they was teaching them how to be civilized. When Europeans was being taught how to be civilized, and not sleep with animals and separate them from the house from the barn, etc. They was taught how to be civilized. So when they got their power, it was during the Renaissance era. That's when the earth was given it to the hand of the wicked, and he's kept tight of that ever since. Also, if you don't know, it's called iconoclasm. Like we says, cover the faces thereof. Let me just pull it up, definition for you real quick. Icon, iconoclasm, slide.
Iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm. So this right here. Let me see how y'all see that. Let me try to zoom in just a taste. Let me double check. So I can go zoom in just a touch more. Iconoclasm. It says the action of attacking or assertively rejecting cherished beliefs and institutions of established values or practices. You understand? Verse 2, definition 2. The rejection or destruction of religious images as heretical. Heretical. The doctrine of the iconoclast. So when you bring this up, the key thing is to talk about is the Russian icons. When it went from the Dark Ages to the Renaissance era, they start repainting pictures. They start uh doing stuff like that. They started to slack 1 second. They start tearing off faces, you know what I'm saying? They start, painting, knocking off noses so you really couldn't see the full feature of these individuals. They start either just flat out destroying statues. Like dealing with this beast, he was something. That's what he was. He was diabolical, of course, but he was strategic. He knew that later down the years later that people was going to research and come back to look at things. So he changed it. He repainted pictures, and some statues he destroyed that'd be hard to recognize if this was a black man or a Caucasian man. But that's why the scripture says the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? You know what I'm saying? Iconoclasm. So I wanted to bring that out real quick. So now let's jump into this whore. We're gonna go to the book of Revelations, chapter 18. We'll go to verse 1. For 1 second, Israel. Slock, Israel. Slock it. All right, slock about that. All right, so all right, I'm back. We'll check on the chat. Revelation chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. So he's saying, letting you know what he saw. Revelations 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. You understand? And whole of every and the whole of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Like that's what we're talking about, the habitation of devils. That's what they are, the habitation of devils. You understand? And I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna jump over one scripture and give a little precept real quick. I'm gonna go to Revelation 17 and 4. Revelation 17 and 4. Because it's come out of her. Revelation 17 and 4, it says, And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having the golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Who has the cup full of abominations? What land today let you do almost everything unclean, abomination, or damaging or destruction known to man? You understand? People might talk about, you know, communism the China that's going over in China, or high taxes in America or in Britain, or slacking. I'm not mentioning America. They might talk about, high taxes in Japan, or they love how things is going on, or they hate how things are going on over there with the split of Korea, stuff like that. There's oppression amongst a lot of countries, but who allows abominations? Who allows abominations to proliferate? Who pushes the agenda? You can find it here in America. You can push that they're pro of the Rainbow Coalition. You'll find that they're pushing or have a heavy influx of child PDF. You understand? Or bestiality. You understand? Or eating everything unclean. Like they eat stuff that's illegal in other countries because it causes cancer. Like America is that cup full of abomination. She will let you get away with anything and to do anything. And that's why we got to come up out of her. America is the abomination. America is what's not safe for Israel. It's like America isn't safe for planet Earth. You understand? She allows so much nonsense. She allows so much turmoil. She allows so much wickedness that you can't even imagine. Just think about how she will fight for other countries about what they're doing to their own people, but she will not allow anyone to fight her for what she's doing to so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, albeit through oppression, albeit through slavery, albeit through laws, albeit through red flagging, albeit through Jim Crow, albeit through police brutality. She'll never allow some Russians to come over here and say, hey, you need to stop mistreating Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, even though she does it. You understand? So she is that cup full of abomination. I just want to make sure I bring out that precept, and I might come back to it, but I'm going to jump back to Revelations 18. I think I was on 3. All right. So remember, America got that cup full of abominations. All right. The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. That's what we just read in Revelation 17 and 4. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. America get people on board. She get you to give her money. She'll get you to accept the Rainbow Coalition, the alphabets. She'll get you to push that agenda. You understand? And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through abundance of her delicacies. Hey, you allow America come in after she, rob your country blind. She'll throw you some money. She'll let you taste some of the finer things that she can produce and everything imaginable that you can think of. You understand? That's what she's done. That's what she would do. It's just for all nations to drunk of their wine. Just think about the influence of the letter people, how they are coming out over the globe. Think of the influence of America's dollar bill and how she's reigns supreme, and you can only spend through her. Think about the influence how everyone hates America or wants to beat America. You understand how much she pushes and how great things is, but she has secret agendas. You understand? All right, so that's America. Like I brought out in that precept, we talk about like a cup full of abominations, and these nations just drink it all up. We're talking about, did you name it? Oppression, PDF, uh, sexual deviancy. Like it's just that cup, and she got the cup full, and she just pouring it, and all the nations is right there holding all. She's pouring out the abomination like waterfall. She just pouring it all over, and they just drink it all up. Look at planet Earth today. Look at the globe today and what's been heavily pushed. Now, granted, there are some people who have small pushback, but for the bulk and the majority, they all drinking on that fornication. All right, Salaki. So here's the main thing. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye receive not of her plagues. And we say something that is heavy, because who's come out of her? Like when there's a mother and she's a whore, when she have a daughter, she can become that same whore. Like we got to come out of America, and we're not talking physically. We're talking about like spiritually, how we conduct ourselves, how we move, how we carry ourselves, our ideology. You know what I'm saying? What we believe in, what's our do's and our don'ts. Like America's gonna be pushing pig feet and lobster tails, cockroach cockroach butts or whatever. You understand? But we got to be the ones to say, hey, that's an unclean food. You know what I'm saying? We have a dietary law. America is so pro on capitalism, it don't care who they bankrupts. You know what I'm saying? America's all about putting high taxes on people or high uh rates on people. You understand? And they don't have a problem with taxing your brother and taxing them to the point that they become homeless. We all seen so many videos and seen so many policies about them redlining and how they're going to strategically to destroy a certain demographic of people. You understand? But it says come out of her, like don't partake into her sins. If let them in Hollywood enjoy that nonsense that they do. Let them don't be like Diddy trying to partake into her sins, trying to throw them type of extravagant parties with all your narcotics and all your foreigners doing engaging in all kind of nastiness. And look what happened with him. He's receiving some of those plagues. And don't be surprised. People start coming out talking about they got an STI. I'm just waiting to hear about that. Don't be the ones who get caught up in going to the Epstein Islands. You understand? Because they have not released all of the victims like where they at today, if they're able to even sue, if there could be even jail time yet. So it says, come out of her. And that's why Commander Hunter has raised up men for us to go out to our people, say there's a plague on this earth, and we can stop this nonsense if we just stop doing what they're doing. We don't have to receive none of her plagues. Salaki. Verse 5, Salaki. Might as well. Let me tell you something about how diabolical Babylon, New Babylon is, i.e. America. It says, it's like verse 5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. Their sins have reached America. I mean, it's like their sins have reached the Most High. He sees it. It's blatant. Like this is land of do whatever wickedness you can think of. Get out, do out any kind of sexual deviancy. You can get any type of narcotic. You can do any kind of combination of both. You can eat almost any kind of food. You understand? I'll be seeing videos about like hunting, like it's like extravagant foods is what they would call it. People eating black bear. There's some guy that's content creator. I be seeing reels. I got the little mechanical grill. He rolled the chicken in, talking about, look at that, golden, crispy. Well, he not only does he fry chicken, a lawful meat to eat, he also fries alligator. He's fried a black bear. You understand? Like only here in, when I say only here in America, but America and all those other countries that drink of a cup of abominations, they engage in this type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? You eat an alligator. Now, who would want to eat a predator like that? Like, why would you want to do something? I mean, lock it. They have it. They got it. They can have that nonsense. All right. So that's what I wanted to bring out. Like the sins have reached the Most High. Now it's up. Now we're telling you, you can. The sins have reached the Most High. Now let's let our prayers reach the Most High. Let's let our behavior, how we conduct our let's let our obedience reach the Most High, so we can cry out for help, and we can provoke the Most High to give the order to Christ to come and redeem us, because the sins has reached them. Now, can our obedience reach them? All right. So we're going to drop that. It's going to go get me. We're going to Amos 9 and 8. Amos 9 and 8. Because no, you know, these new content creators, you know, they're not really going to teach you. They're talking about some good black stuff. There's some of it's fine. Some of it's about business, you know, how to network it, life insurance policies, you know, all that stuff is good. But we still need to get about how we conduct ourselves. We still need that morality code, that morality clause, and how we move and how we operate, what's acceptable, what isn't, so forth and so on. All right. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord God are upon the sinful kingdom. We all know what that is. The sinful kingdom, like the Most High is looking at it. It says, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth. The Most High seeing it. We read in Revelation how the smell of the sins has reached the Most High. We're reading in Amos, he's talking about he got eyes on you now. You got the Most High attention. He sees you. And he says, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. He's saying, that's why I said in Revelation, says, be not partakers of her plague. If we don't partake into her plague, we won't be destroyed. But if you partake into her nonsense, you will be and can be destroyed. It says, destroy from the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. You understand? Behold, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face. Like, that's how much more do you need? How much more do you need that the Most High is watching? The Most High, he smells it. All right, so we're going to drop that. We're going to Ezekiel 35 and 5. Of course, I got quite a few scriptures for y'all. I'm going to start at 4. Ezekiel 35, chapter 4. I mean, it's like Ezekiel 35, verse 4. It says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. All right. We're going to lay these cities waste. Verse 5 says, now we're going to talk about this deep ditch and why it is impossible to save. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, an ongoing hatred, a strong hatred, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. These people that he's talking about has had a perpetual hatred for the children of Israel. You understand? They shed the blood, slacking, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword. So now you already hate these people, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You already hate us. And you shed our blood. Okay, that's what he's talking. We shed our blood by sword, by force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, and in the time that their iniquity had an end. So when we was getting punished by the Most High, and we got beaten down, here they come over there adding insult to us. You know what I'm saying? They come over there throwing more dirt on to us. They come over there throwing more rocks on to us. They come over there pissing on us, trying to defecate onto us. They come over there unaliving us more. You understand? When our iniquity had an end. Now it's time for us to rebuild. We're beat to powder. We're beat to a pulp. Now it's time for us to rebuild. They come attack us while we're in the hospital. They come finish the job. That's why. That's what he's talking about. What's going on about this amount of hatred that they had towards us. You understand? Like we cannot get along. We cannot trust this diabolical beast. All right. So verse 6. Remember, we're still talking about that deep dish, that spiritual horror. All right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord God, I will prepare unto thee blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. He said, since y'all don't have no problem with bloodshed, I shall shed your blood as well. That's all he's talking about. All right, so remember that spiritual horror is what's amongst us. All right, so we're going to drop that. If we go to Hebrews 12 and 16. It's like, I don't like doing that. Keep let go. All right, the book of Hebrews 12, 16. So this is key because we're still talking about that deep ditch horde, which is America, which is the children of Esau or Edom, which belongs to the so-called Caucasian European race, whether they be American or they be Irish, whether they be British or Spaniards or Frenchmen, Ashkenazi, what other name you're going by, Australian, Greek, Roman, whatever the hell tribe or name he's going by, this is him. All right, Hebrews 12 and 16. Remember what we just read in Revelation, it says to come out of her. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Yeah, it should have been Esau having this law, statutes, and commandments, you know what I'm saying? But he sold his birthright. Oh well. Sorry, not sorry. You understand? That's what we're talking about. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And then, now we can't feel sorry for that. This is Esau. Who will feel sorry for a man who's going to give up the kingdom of heaven and he sold it for some food? Now you did that to your own family. So many souls down the line. Why should we feel sorry for you? So this right here is in the New Testament, is another cut to Christians, and they're telling you what's happening. There ain't no repentance from this. It says, "For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears." Isaac was like, well, hey, I've already done did my part. I gave my blessing, so you sold it. Hey, ain't no undoing it. Ain't no rematch. And ain't no, hey, come here, redo. I wasn't ready. No, you accepted that. And that's your problem. That's your bed. You lay in it. All right, so we're going to drop that. Let's go to the book of Genesis. Just want to make sure I still be reiterating who's who. Genesis 25 and 22. 25 and 22. Oh, Salaki. What happened? Genesis That one 1 second, Israel. Just not sure what happened. The little context. Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So, they just talking about, she conceived. So, that they married. And this is how long we've been battling this whore. This whore of a people, this whore of his spiritual that he put out onto the earth. It says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. All right. And this is why it was important for her to do what she did to make sure that Israel got their birthright. It says, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Yes, same mother, same father, but the Lord separated them. And 2 manners of people. Well, everyone knows that there's a difference between black and white. Let's just call it what it is. Our culture is different, our style different, our flavor is different, our movement is different. We're definitely 2 manners of people. It says, the 2 manners of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. All right. And there's gonna be one that's gonna be stronger. It says, and the elder shall serve the younger. And Esau was born first. He came out the womb first. So he's the elder. All right. So I just want to make sure I bring that part out. So we're going to drop that. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 63. Let's start at 1. All right. And we're going to be jumping back and forth through some precepts as well in the book of Isaiah. All right. So let me check the stream. I ain't been checking. All right, we're still good. All right. So it says Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. It says, who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? It's like Basra. Is that is glorious in his imperial, traveling in greatness of his strength? I speak that slacking. I speak that slacking. I that speak in righteousness might say, slack. I'm starting all over. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is that? Slacking. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. It's like I was totally butchering that. It's going to be mighty to save. It says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, in thy garments like him that tradeth with the wine fat? So we're just talking about future. All right, so I'm getting a precept real quick. I'm gonna go to, let's see what I got saved. I'm gonna go to 55 and 6. So it's like I'm gonna start at 55 and 5. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 5. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and the nation that knew not shall slacken. Knew not thee shall run unto thee because of the Lord thy God, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. So, Salaki. This is something that Israel needs to do. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Now, that's why it says while he may be found. That's important. Why it says to seek the Lord while he may be found, because it's going to be a time when you can't find the Most High. the doors of UPK will be closed. You won't be able to find God. That's why it says to seek ye the Lord while he can be found. That's a lot. Yeah, you gotta seek the Most High while he can be found. It's like 1 second. Shalak Israel. So it says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. If you don't want to call on the Most High and seek him while he can be found, then that's you taking on the plagues of that abomination. All right. Uh, let me go to 34 and 16 in the book of Isaiah. And this is how you're going to seek the Most High. All right. This is the book of Isaiah. Just another precept, y'all. Chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Like, it's time to pick up these Bibles. Because, you know, when you really pick up these books, you understand that, like, the truth is in there. Your pastor will pick and choose scriptures and verses. But if you start reading it, and just even if you don't understand, you start reading, you'll see that the Lord said he hates a certain person. He tells you what the blessings are and the curses are if you don't abide by those. Like any a father would discipline his child if they're disobedient. You understand? So when you read the Bible, you understand, okay, he don't loves everybody. It has to flow. And the Lord is right to punish. You understand? And then you look at history, it's clear as day that you can find out who the true children of Israel are, the 12 tribes of Israel. And you can most definitely find out who Esau is. All right. So, like, I'm just start this verse over. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fall, shall fail. None shall want her mate, for my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit that has gathered them there. So I butcher that as well. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord. Find these records find these records. These records is that Holy Bible. The best one to get is the King James 1611. If you have struggled with Old Cricket English, just get the regular KJV, King James. All right. Seek ye the book of the Lord. It says, and read. But get that book and read these records. All right. No one of these shall fail. You read these records and you need to be taught, you come to the UPK and you will not fail. If you just read these records and you follow them. All right. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it has commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So I just want to show you about that real quick. And I'm just going to go back to Revelations, the 17th chapter, verse 4. I just want to make sure I reiterate about the mother and her daughter and what's going on. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. America, that's America's influence on the earth. You see, America's influence is heavy. It's heavy, whether it be her money, whether it be like her lifestyle, whether it be the agenda she pushed, whether it be the weaponry, like everything abomination that goes against God, you can find that being pushed by America. All right. So, like, let me see if I want verse 5. Oh, it's like I missed this. So this is the main one. Verse 5. It says, and upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. It's in all caps. The mystery. Who is Babylon the Great? The new land of wickedness, America allows you to do whatever wickedness you see fit. It says the great mother of harlots. And if your mother is a harlot, she will raise more harlots. That's why I said she's the mother of harlots, like mother, like daughter, like mother, like daughter. It says the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. This is written in bold in all caps. Upon her forehead was written, she's a mystery. Who is America? No one knows. They know that you can do whatever wicked thing you can think of, whatever sexual deviancy, whatever drugs, whatever floats your boat, whatever what they say in the Epstein files. Let's throw a pizza party for children. Code words means to get your rocks off, to act like you're a Catholic priest. Mysteries of Babylon. This is America. This is her influence. This is her cup full of abominations. Pizza party, code words they use, of how they're going to come out and do things to children. These are some sick bastards. These are some sick devils. And anybody that wants to redact their names to hide these monsters, they're just as sick as well. And let the Lord give them every evil and every plague he can imagine, he can put together. Let they deserve that. They earned that. Let me tell you something, Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We got to leave this mother of harlots and her abominations. Come out of her. If you don't, you will get her plagues. You're seeing it now. You're seeing what happened to Diddy. Don't be surprised when more and more people who try to act like them, their life get uprooted. Their life they start to receive the plagues of our oppressor. And if you're not in that type of world, it's like Hollywood or the music business, you still need to come out of America because you still making these lifestyles. If you're pro the letter people, if you're pro eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, if you're pro supporting OnlyFans, if you're pro making whores of our daughters, if you're pro getting high, if you're pro trapping and selling drugs, like these are the abominations of America. And we got to read this book, these records of our records. These are written by our forefathers. These are our kinsmen. We got to come out of her. So reread Revelation 17:5. It says, upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. All right. So I'm Priest and Officer Darakia of the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I've been teaching truth. We've been teaching truth in the ISUPK since 1969 under Commanding General Yohana. That's my time, y'all. Shalom.